D TV presents Conversations for Dummies, where some things you know and some things you learn. Tonight, we're going to learn some things. Stay tuned right here on Lady D TV for Conversations for Dummies, coming up right after this word from our sponsors.
Vegas, where's the food? Right here at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Make sure you get down to 4255 Dean Martin Drive, Suite G, and put your order in at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Try out our new steam bowls or our delicious homestyle barbecue. Either way, you're going to love something at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Now available on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Order today.
And now, here's Lady D with Conversations for Dummies. Welcome, 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 you guys. We are back once again. I want to say, we missed last week because my guest had some issues getting on, but I want to say that this week's guest, he was early and way early and on time. So I am so grateful and thankful for that. It's always good to have somebody that shows up when they're supposed to and knows how to get things done. And that's what this man is all about. He knows how to get things done. I'm excited to be here today. Welcome, you guys. This is Conversations for Dummies. I am Lady D, that be me. We are broadcasting live tonight on my Diane P. Meadows Facebook page, on my YouTube page, Lady D, that be me TV, and on my Instagram page, Lady D TV. I'm excited about the Instagram thing because they didn't have this available a little while ago. So now we can go live on Instagram through this whole platform and do them all at the same time. And I love that. That just streamlines everything. So I'm excited. Welcome once again. I have a very special guest waiting in the audience here. I'm going to play something for him. First of all, let me give my shout out. Shout out to everybody out there, all my followers, all my listeners, all my supporters. I love you guys. You guys know I love you guys. And I almost said, wake up, wake up, wake up. Because that's what I do every morning when I do my show. And I do this one once a week. And it almost came out, but I caught myself. This is Conversations for Dummies. This is not morning motivation. Okay. So anyway, shout out to all you guys, to Johnny L. Dunlap Jr., to Mo McCoy and the Fireproof TV Films family, to LaVon Henderson, to everybody, all of you guys. I can't even name all of y'all. There's so many of you guys that support me, and I just love you guys to death. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to play this clip from my guest, one of his movies. And here we go. Check this out.
Thomas. Don't you want to go find Mommy's gun while she makes your lunch downstairs? I'm sure it would be so much fun.
I don't ever want to see you touch that gun again. Do you understand me, Thomas?
Yes, Mommy.
It's only to protect you and I from the bad people of the world.
Seven months ago, I had it all. A flourishing real estate career. I gave my mother back the great life that she gave me. Then only to find the woman of my dreams.
Hey.
Yes, sir. That's my boy right there.
But when the pandemic hit and shook the world, all hell broke loose in mine.
God works in mysterious ways.
How do you know, or when do you know, if or when God has forsaken you? And what do you have to do that is so wrong for Him to take away everything that you love in the first place?
Well, I'm not God. But what I do know, the Bible declares that He would never separate His love from us.
Even if I tried to kill myself 10 minutes ago?
What's your favorite team?
Man, what? Cowboys all day.
What?
Absolutely.
What have you been praying?
All right. That is 10 minutes ago. That is awesome. Welcome to the stage, you guys. Mr. Tony James. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How you doing, Miss Lady D? How are you
I'm
this
doing
evening and this afternoon?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to have you here. That little clip right there was awesome and amazing.
Thank you. Thank you
That
very
was
much.
great.
Thank
That was
you.
great. So I want to do this. I want to allow you to introduce yourself and
Okay.
tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm Tony James. Actually, if you find me on IMDb, is under Anthony Tony James. Uh, I'm a filmmaker. I've been a filmmaker for the past close to 14 years. I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey, raised in Newark, New Jersey. I actually was born in Arlington, Virginia, which I am actually in Virginia at this time. I've moved down here for the past 3.5 years, which has been nothing but a blessing. But was raised on the bricks, so to speak, of Newark, New
Hmm.
Jersey. Um, was actually a singer-songwriter before I, got my feet wet into filmmaking. Um, was getting robbed in the music business. So it actually, yeah, it actually just made me pivot into filmmaking because I was a great storyteller. Plus, I have an amazing story, even in my personal journey of life. However, uh, my first film, Brick City Boys, was a YouTube classic, garnering over 6 million views collectively. And from that point on, I just, continued to perfect my craft, and I'm still a work in progress, and I'm just basically getting started.
You are doing an awesome job. So I met you. I never actually met you in person.
Okay. All
But
right.
I found out about you several years ago through
Mhm.
a mutual friend of ours, Chiller the Entertainer, and you
Mhm.
spoke about being in entertainment. So that is where you met him. I think you were
Yeah.
telling me at the Peppermint Lounge in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes, I was basically raised in the Peppermint Lounge with my godfather, the incomparable Hunter Hayes, since I was 17 years old, 17 going into 18. And I seen a plethora of great, amazing acts come out of the Peppermint Lounge. In fact, when people look at Def Comedy Jam was born in the ballroom of the Peppermint Lounge.
Ooh.
And BJ, aka Chilla, our mutual friend, used to perform every Wednesday, which we all performed.
Mhm.
As far as all the singers in the area came, and they would have amateur night at the Peppermint Lounge, and we had a MC by the name of Chugalug that used to come out and, ladies and gentlemen, he had one of those incomparable voices where brought you back into the early 20s and the 30s, like you were in the Renaissance Harlem days.
Wow.
And yeah, you know, me and Chilla, DJ got very fond at that time because they during amateur night, um, if you won, you would get $50, sometimes
Hmm.
75, or even sometimes $100. And BJ, who used to actually emulate, was one of the best dancers to emulate Michael Jackson, will win like consecutively. So we would look up and they would just give him money because they knew once he get on stage, nobody was coming behind that.
Right.
Nobody. So and he was always a lovable gentleman, and yeah, he's been a blessing to all of us that have ever known him.
Yes, yes, yes. That's a great story, and yeah, you're right about that. You couldn't touch him on the stage. Once he get up there and get started, it's a wrap. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the filmmaking industry, and
Mhm.
how that's going for you.
Okay. Well, like I said, since 2010, my first film, Brick City Boys, which garnered 6 million plus views. The thing was, I had no true understanding about filming. We did the whole film with one camera. I shot it in 640p, and filmmakers that know basically the technical settings of where, if it's 1980 1920 by 1080, then that's, the basically 24p. That's the
Hmm.
So here it is. I was shooting at 640, and needless to say, the even people look at it now on Tubi, and I it's amazing that people still look at it, but they tell me all the time, the storyline, which was um, partially my story, um, about the trials and tribulations of me and a couple other people that I knew at the time of our lifestyle. And I knew a lot of people that lived that quote unquote hard knock life. And the
Hmm.
majority of those people were in the film. So because of the lifestyle I was living at that time, we're able to drive around and shoot guerrilla style all around North. So people knew who I was, and they knew who the people are, and they never bothered us. And
Right.
we just had a great time. And when I think back on it, it really put me in an understanding that I could do anything. I really
Yes,
can do anything as long as I put my mind and my energy and my imagination to it. And from that day on, ironically, my second project was a thing called Risk: The Life of Floyd Sabrina, which is also on Tubi at this time. And on the flip side of that, there was a young lady by the name of Issa Rae who was doing adventures or misadventures of an awkward black girl or black.
hmm,
And when I would throw my episodes on, she would throw her episodes on. So it's amazing to see how Issa has evolved into this mogul. She's
yes,
working becoming a mogul, and she definitely deserves it. So I, on the other hand, was still getting my feet wet and learning. And the films that I have right now on Tubi, Amazon Prime Video, and also on YouTube, they're all a testament of me still dedicating to my hard work and my endurance and never giving up on my dream.
definitely. That is awesome. That's amazing. So, what got you interested in filmmaking?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. What got me interested in filmmaking, like I said, I was a R&B singer, got into gospel for a few minutes. Uh, and stories. I always had great stories. I
Hmm.
still, I can be sleep and wake up and all of a sudden I got a new story on my mind. And, I just believe that the Most High gave me this gift where I, can tell other people's stories. Sometimes, even when I'm asleep, and this may sound strange, I actually can see other people going through other situations, and I'm like, wait a minute, some people will say you're a seer. Some people say it's a paradigm shift or it's a portal where you're sharing the same frequency and vibration of someone else.
Hmm.
Where I would see this so vividly and be able to come to fruition with it and make the stories that I write. So what got me into that is I always had that talent. I always had that gift. And because of it, I didn't want to see it just, didn't want to put it in a hole, so to speak. I wanted to manifest it. I wanted to bring
Uh-oh.
all my gifts, talents, and abilities into fruition. It froze up a little
Yeah,
bit.
it did for a minute.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yes, that's what got me into filmmaking. I'm
Nice.
a storyteller. I'm a real storyteller. In fact, I have no doubt in my mind I'm the next Tyler Perry. I say it all the time, and I don't
Yes.
I don't say it to be facetious. I am the next Tyler Perry, and I know one day Tyler's going to be looking at something and say, "Wait a minute, this young man is tapped into something that I could see me writing that, and I'm sure it's going to happen. I have no doubt in my mind.
You kind of favor Tyler Perry a little
I've heard that before, but that's another story.
bit. That's awesome. I'm so excited about what you're doing. So my next question is this: I love the name of your entertainment company. Where'd you come up with that name, Godson Entertainment?
Well, here's the thing. I was first Jersey Underdog. I had my first company was Jersey Underdog. When I did
Hmm.
Brick City Boys, it was Jersey Underdog. But I got into, and here's the thing. All my life, I've had people who say, "Oh, you're a great preacher. You're going to be a minister." I've had people lay hands on me, so to speak, and always told me about this minister that was always inside me, this evangelist, and et cetera, et cetera. And there's a scripture in the Bible that actually says, when Jesus looks at the Pharisees and Sadducees, he said, "Isn't it written that ye are gods?" Basically, he was saying that even us being in this mantle of flesh, so to speak, this
Hmm.
physical status or physical body, we're spiritual beings having a physical or a normal experience, a man-made experience,
Yes,
and because of that, it put me in a standard of recognizing how great I truly am, and knowing that if I am, as they say, a God's son, then even my gifts, talents, and abilities will make room for me to the point where I can excel and exceed even the places where I've been, the things that I've gone through. We're talking about molestation. We're talking about mental, physical, and psychological abuse that I went through as a child. And, you know, with all the things I've gone through, only a individual that truly has the spirit of God within them can overcome what I've
right.
seen myself. So that's the
Yes.
reason why I named my entertainment company Godson Entertainment, because
I
I'm
love
I'm a
it.
I'm a child of the Most High.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what would you say has been your most challenging uh, process in,
Hmm.
in becoming a filmmaker?
I would absolutely, utterly say that. Excuse me, finding people
Mm,
who will sow into you and partner with you. It's one thing when people sow into you and they're looking for receiving what they sow into you, but it's another, when you have someone say, "I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm not worried about how it's going to come back in return. I just see something in you that I just want to be a part of you." I had a young lady
right.
by the name of Pippi Winfield. Shout out to Pippi Wingfield. Um, who told me, a couple weeks back, she said, "I don't know, God just has me wanting to sow into you." So that was the first person I've ever heard say those words to me in my 51 years of life. I'll be 52 in January. And that let me know that the course that I am on is definitely, where I'm supposed to be at this time. So I'm trying to
Hmm.
build a right team. You're only as great as the people that are around you.
Yeah,
And when people see you, they have to, like, for example, I've been married. I've been with my wife for 24 years. It'll be 24 years in January. And when people see my wife and they see how humble and how loving and compassionate, well, she's a reflection of who I am, and I'm a
yeah,
reflection of who she is. So the same thing goes when you find a partnership. There should be a marriage, there should be an ordinance, there should be a divine connection, to the point where you don't have to worry about the finances. The finances will come if you
right.
all are on one accord. So that's been my biggest challenge, and being who I am and also partnering with people. Shout out to my boy Heath Snow. Heath Snow's been with me. He's a quiet partner, so to speak, silent
Hmm.
partner. But also with him, he has a life of his own, and having someone to be with me all, step by step. That's the
Yes,
hardest, to find people who are going to be dedicated as I
yes. I definitely know that challenge.
am.
Definitely. So,
Mm.
what has been your greatest accomplishment?
Mm. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Denzel, and I
okay.
and I live by that. Denzel Washington. Someone, I forgot what interview it was. Somebody asked Denzel Washington, "What's your greatest film you made yet?" He said, "I haven't made it yet." So I live by that. I
Yes.
haven't. I have my accomplishments. I have. People sit there. I got a friend of mine. Shout out to Owen Funderburk the third, who's actually playing the pastor in 10 minutes ago. He did an amazing job. Um, he revels off of 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, I'm so far past that because I have so many bodies of works that I want to get done. And
Yes.
even those bodies of works are amazing bodies of works, but they're not that yet. So
Yes.
when I'm able to, like I said, I have a vision board and I have, I do my affirmations and positive self-talk every morning. And I have, a 369 book. And it's a journal
Mm-hmm.
where you speak on your affirmations, you speak on the things that you're trying to accomplish in the next days, weeks, months, or years, and you constantly so into that so you recall everything so you're able to manifest it. Whatever you think, act, or feel, it will come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my thing. That's my goal. I have not reached it yet because I have too much to do.
Yes. Gotcha. That is awesome, man. And God will give us plenty. He
Indeed.
won't.
Indeed.
There's no short changing or nothing like that. And when you're dealing with God and He's
Indeed.
pouring into you, it's nothing.
Indeed.
Yes, you're gonna have
Yeah.
something. Always have something.
Yeah.
So, where do you see? And I know this is probably a typical question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with with your filmmaking?
Okay, going back to the stories I tell. In the next
Mm-hmm.
5 years, and like I said, I can't pinpoint everything because imaginations is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions, right? That's what Albert Einstein said. And the things I've already saw, the people I've already worked with, um, it's it's the best way I could put it. I'm the next Tyler Perry. That's the only way I can say it.
Okay.
That's the only way. And and I recognize he's not just a hero or icon to me.
Mm-hmm.
He is the blueprint. And we all need people in our lives that we can sit there and say, oh, well, if he did it, then I know I can do it. The first person that influenced and inspired me like that was Melvin Van Peebles. When I first
Mm,
saw Badass Song, Badass Song, and I was like, wait a minute. When I learned the story, how this man went against Hollywood. He did the Watermelon Man, and they
mm-hmm.
all raved and about the Watermelon Man, which was a great success for him and also a great film. But he was like, no, I got something deeper in me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a story that I got to tell that my people are going to connect to. And then when you look at all that he went through to create Badass Song, um, it's amazing how he brought people from every nationality and ethnicity together to create something that was masterful. And
Mm-hmm.
mind you, he had to play his own star. Nobody else could play the role that he wanted except
Right.
himself. And in doing that, he pivot. The craziest thing, they call it black exploitation.
Mm,
And sadly enough, the only reason why they call it black Hollywood called it black exploitation because they were making more money than the films that were in Hollywood. So they
wow.
had to put a negative stigma on what we were creating as a people
Mm-hmm.
because we were superseding their imaginations and their storylines. So
Wow.
Melvin was the first person who pivoted that whole movement of what we call quote unquote black exploitation films. So when I
Wow.
saw him do it, yeah. And then, like I said, pity back on, Tyler. I mean, who has accomplished like what he's done
Yes. Yes.
to give, and I say this, affectionately. I'm a big fan of Spike Lee, but the moment he started slandering Tyler, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would and I understood where his complexity and I understood where his stand was, but Tyler did something that I don't think anybody really recognized. You don't slander and go back and forth with people when they're being disgrevious with you and disrespecting you. He gave
Right.
Spike Lee his own stage.
Yeah. And I don't understand why we slander one another anyway,
Mhm.
Um it's just not a good look, you know what I'm saying? I could understand if they deserve the slander,
Right.
some people deserve what they get, but not everyone deserves to be slandered. I think Tyler Perry has done an awesome and
Hmm.
amazing job. I watched his story maybe about a week or so ago, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
awesome. I'm like,
yeah.
look at this, that studio that he has out there, that those acres and acres and acres. Oh my God, that's just amazing. And I now that I know you personally, and you're the next Tyler, I know I'm gonna get to be a part of it.
Absolutely. You already a part of it. I
Yes,
appreciate you,
yes,
lately even considering me to be on, a star. I say star,
yes.
be a guest star on your show. Thank you so
Yes, you
much.
are definitely a star.
Thank you.
Definitely, yes. So, what do you have a favorite of your movies that you've done? Is there a
Mm,
favorite?
wow. Okay. Now I can't say that it's a favorite. 10 minutes ago is definitely a testament. Um, to what I've gone through in the past 3.5 years. First of all, I lost so many people during COVID. I
Mm,
lost a
yes.
lot of family and friends and people that were very near and dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually the whole thing that happened as far as losing my father on March 30th, 2020,
Mm,
that and
yes.
I that was like the catalyst for me to move um, from New Jersey here to
Mm-hmm.
Virginia, and ironically, um, there was a pain in the back of my head. My family, I never had COVID. My wife, my
Mm-hmm.
son, my youngest son, and I never had COVID. But
Mm,
there was a pain in the back of my head that would not cease. I was going to work, and this is when people were literally dying of COVID at certain hospitals. They were throwing people in trailer trucks and the
wow.
18 wheelers, and everybody was John and Jane Doe at that time. But there was
Mm,
a pain. I was working at King College, and it was a pain that would not subside in the back of my head. And I told my wife, I said, "Listen, if we do not leave, if we do not move out of New Jersey, I know I'm going to be next."
mm,
And mind you, we'd never had COVID. I was 318 pounds at the time,
wow.
and I just had this pain, and I would have to suck and like literally submerge my head in water and
Mm,
take hot baths, and that's the only thing that made it calm down to a certain degree.
mm,
Well, I said a prayer. I said, Most High, if you bring me out of this, I promise you, the next film that I do will be a testament to your grace, your mercy, and your love for me.
mm,
So, long story short, we sold my house. Now we're talking about in the midst of the pandemic. We sold my house in less than 2 months. We moved in a couple of days. Uh, we actually moved May 7th. My youngest son's birthday is May 8th. And I mean, we talk about miracle after miracle. And when I got to the Delaware Bridge, all of a sudden, Kurt Franklin's song, The Storm Is Over Now, came up. I didn't turn the channel on, it just popped up.
mm,
And literally, the pain ceased.
wow.
And what when all of that, and we got down here, and my youngest son is autistic, and we got down here, and I kid you not, this place is a where we live at is a utopia. It's really a utopia, and
Wow.
majority of the kids here are autistic. So it was
Wow.
nothing but the hand of God that moved and did everything in divine right timing. So when it was time for me to make the film, I said, okay, I know exactly the subject matter I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I give the most high glory. And not only that, in return, I'm going to focus on saving lives of people who deal with mental illness, which that's the main topic of the film 10 minutes ago.
That is beautiful. Just beautiful. God is just, I just, it's just, you can't say enough about how he works and how he moves. He just does
Indeed.
things when you don't know, when you're not expecting it. He's just right there, like
Indeed.
always on time. Yes, yes.
Indeed. Amen.
Okay, I got a few people out here. Let me see. I got some comments.
Okay.
Love and respect for one another. No need to slander or libel, even with extreme disagreement. I want to see people work it out. Definitely, Jody. Let's see. Who is this here? Um, T Dog 135 says he has a hip hop song out called Christmas Melee. I
Okay, we're
guess
gonna check
something that
that
he'd
out.
like for you to check out, and I can also
Indeed.
play it on the radio station if
Okay.
it is a clean version. We can do that. So yes, people are definitely out there and responding. Everybody's enjoying the show. So I want to ask you, do you or how do you go about recruiting people to be
Hmm.
in your films? How do you go about finding actors, and actresses?
That's a good question. The best way I can actually answer it, uh, it's a prayer. I say a prayer.
Mm,
I had a casting director by the name of Shamila Beslow. Shout out to Shamila Beslow, who actually is also playing the aunt in the film 10 minutes ago. Um, she's also been in Swagger. I believe it's on Hulu, a show on Hulu, and I, utilized her services as a casting director because she knew people that were in the Spotsylvania area, and the rest of the people that were in the cast I prayed for, and they just came to me.
wow.
Now, the after 10 minutes ago, I just recently finished another film, which was actually the second installment of a film I did some years back called, excuse me, Falsity. Falsity Chapter 2, Five Stories of Betrayal, which is also on Tubi. Um, the first one is on Tubi, that is. And I prayed on the cast, which majority of the cast came from Richmond. And yeah, and what happened was I prayed for, just like I prayed for a casting director with 10 minutes ago. I also prayed for a casting director for Falsely Chapter 2. And I mean, it was amazing. You had the young lady by the name of Sherelle Lang, who actually plays Kitty Cat in the first installment, because it's 5 stories of betrayal. So the first one is actually Kitty Cat and the dog. And then I had Marsha Lewis Witherspoon, who actually took the helm, where she brought in her people as well. So between, Sherelle and Marsha, they just brought in different people. And then it was certain people who've never acted before. And like I said, I just prayed on it, and they came running.
That is beautiful. So speaking of falsity, I do have a clip. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's about 4 minutes, but I'm not going to play that much of it. But
Okay.
I just want to play a little bit of it. So here we go.
Looky, looky. Well, look at your womanizing ass now. Fucking naked.
You know that you are my baby. You are my boo. You are my number one. You know that.
Yeah, I know. You just be tricking on them other hoes with my money, huh?
Go ahead. Tell her what you did, Pop. Tell your wife how you tried to rape your son's fiance.
Whatever the case may be, if he is or if he isn't gay, he's still my son. In boxer briefs or lace underwear. Ma, come on. Reggie?
Yeah.
Gay? No. He's the one that was masturbating watching Jessica Rabbit. Talking about Jessica got a fatty. But sis, I mean, let's keep it real. Was his package like that big? Like he really couldn't take an Advil for that? Like, Advil, a shot of tequila or something? Casamigos?
Get your friend.
You couldn't take that?
Like, how could the woman that I prayed for my whole life secretly abort the only child that I waited to live with?
Ever since me and Dawn broke up, it's just, I can't get my shit together. Like, even my therapist said it's on some, like, psychological shit.
All of this is not because of the woman, it's because of the dad.
Damn, what the hell is a bad? That heavy ass booty, nigga.
You saw the opportunity to take advantage of an innocent woman and did what 80% of what the rest of y'all stupid ass men do all the time. See, when you left me stranded at my car, God saw fit to send me
an angel with the mind and skill set of the damn devil himself.
So explain to me why in the hell would you put your greasy, nasty, stubby hands on that damn child?
Woman, what the hell is wrong with you? Standing up here looking like a fat fool.
So, if you in finding yourself and you in transition,
Whoa. Pops, I'm about to say this with the utmost respect and adoration. What the fuck are you talking about?
So you ready to begin?
All right, that was awesome. I could have watched the whole thing. I'm gonna have to go and watch that. That was awesome. So yes, I'm really excited about what you're doing. I'm happy that you were able to come on and grace us with your information. So let me ask you this: what kind of advice or suggestions would you give to someone wanting to get into the filmmaking industry?
That is a huge question. Let me see if I can break it down the best way possible. First of all, I would tell them to make sure they're sure. To make sure they're sure, because some people look at it, I pick up a camera, I got a story to tell, I'm going to get into riches and wealth and this and everything in life, everything you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. So I would tell them first to make sure that they're sure that this is what they want to do. This is the field they want to get into. Second of all, I would tell them to get as many books that they possibly can about the business, about writing, screenplay writing, whatever field that they want to get into, even whether it be sound production, whether it be videography, whether it be, writing screenplays, get into learning the fundamentals, because the funniest thing, and I laugh about it, but I'm still a work in progress and I'm still learning every day. And there is something new to learn towards any form of business that you want, as far as being in the movie business, so to speak. So get as much knowledge as possible, read as many books as possible. And if you're not even, wanting to put in the work to read the books, then trust me, you're not even ready for this business.
Right.
Because it takes time. It takes, as they say, in anything that you do in any form of business, you got to put in 10,000 hours. So you have to put those 10,000 hours to, even become anything. And even though right now technology is moving so quickly, where anybody can film they can film movies on their pads and their phones. Still have to know exactly what you are doing. What is your fundamentals as far as storyline? What is your storytelling about? What is your plots? What is your synopsis? Learn the fundamentals of how you will receive your income, and also how to to do budgeting. Learn crowdfunding. Learn how to get a budget started before you even talk about going to the actors and actresses. I have been extremely blessed in that area, where people just want to work with me. And like, for example, the last film that you just saw with Falsity, what I did is I actually was allowing, which I know a lot of people would say, well, how did you make money? Well, that's another question I don't have the time to say. I was literally giving people that were in the film the tickets. So when they get their mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandparents, I gave them the tickets. And this is the way that I paid them. So whatever money that they made off of their family members and friends, they put that money in their pocket.
Wow. That's great. That's a great idea.
Right. So here it is. It sounds like a great idea. And I would say 90% of that went excellent. But you always have the 10%. You always have, you have the people who say, well, what if I ain't selling no tickets? So then you have to recoup them in some way, shape, or form. Right. However, a majority of the 90% went as according to as planned. And the reason, because I have a heart to give.
Yes.
I don't want anyone, if I can't pay you what you deserve and what your gifts, talents, and abilities are worth, then I want you to understand that you didn't spend time on this project for nothing.
Right.
So even if it means me taking away money that I could have made for myself, I want you to feel what you deserve. And that's another reason why, going back to Tyler Perry, he pays people what they
Yes.
deserve. And
Yes.
that's what we're as men of color, as men of color, this is the pride and integrity that we need to do and represent in our companies and the business and everything that we do and say. So yeah, integrity would be another thing. Find out your integrity. Find out your
Yes.
morality in business before you even try to be in any businesses, especially the film business or entertainment, because morality will definitely get tried.
Oh, yes. I agree.
And
That's great.
I'm saying that loosely, but your
Mhm.
morality will get tried in every way, shape, or form, every facet.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and lastly, you have to have a passion for this.
Mhm.
You have to do not do anything that you will not, if you can't lose sleep over it, if
Mhm.
you can't miss meals, it's times when my wife has to force me to eat because I'm sitting there editing the film. I'm sitting there
Wow.
writing because this is what you have to be born to do these things. You just can't do it because you want to be famous. I understand everybody want to get on TikTok and Instagram and they want to pick up their phones and we see
Mhm.
content creators, it's a dime a dozen now. This business here is not for the weak.
Yeah.
It's not
I
for
agree.
the Johnny come latelys. This is hard work, it's dedication, it's integrity, it's everything that you have to bring out of yourself to put back into yourself and not look for a dime of it.
Mhm. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Simple as that.
That's good. That's good information because people, when they hear the raw truth, that's what they need to hear is the real truth about what you're getting into, and that goes for not just filmmaking, but with
Mhm.
any business that you're trying to start or get into.
Absolutely.
Yes. Great.
Absolutely. And
Great.
it's a lucrative business. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong.
Yes.
But you have to you really have to put the time in. You have to get with some great people. Once again, like I said earlier, you have to connect with some people who want to be in the same frame of mind, who see the same visions and goals and are determined to be successful. And
Yes.
then you're able to see the fruits of your labor. But at first, uh-uh, this is not
Yes.
for the weak. This is not
Yes.
for the weak.
Definitely. Well, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. I do want to ask, how can anyone get in contact with you? Anybody that might want to follow you, that might want to, get involved with what you're doing. How can we reach you?
Okay. You can reach me on Facebook. I have 3 pages. Well, actually, I have about 4 pages, but you can reach me at 2 of them. You can reach me at Godson Entertainment LLC, or you can reach me at Tony James, filmmaker, on Facebook or Instagram. You can reach me at Tony James or Tony James, filmmaker. Same thing on TikTok. You can find me on Tony James, filmmaker. Um, and yeah, I'm on all of those platforms under Tony James. If you don't mind, I'd like to do some shout outs of
Sure, sure.
to show some love and appreciation to a couple people I want to shout out. Allison and Michael McCullen, my guy Heath Snow, Ellis Knight, Nell Stevens, Trevor Smith, my godmother Adrian Hatchett, B. Alexis Wright, Sharik, my boy Sharik Robinson, once again Pippi Wingfield, um, Jackie Henderson, uh, Gwendolyn, and Greg Curry, Pastor Bell, who also played a pastor, my boy, my friend Owen Funderburk the third, William Michael Barbie rather, and everyone who just also Kyrie Irvin. And this I have to share this with you guys before I leave.
Sure.
Kyrie Irvin saw just the first when I started my fundraiser 14 minutes ago. Kyrie Irvin saw just me speaking on one of the clips, and he contributed a number that was a divine number. And
Mm,
when I saw it, it broke me down to tears because the way my life is living now, I live on nothing but on a divine purpose and plane. And
mm.
When I say that, when I start, going to my spiel, when I talk about divinity, people say, well, what you don't believe in God? What you don't believe in Jesus? When you get into a place where you are walking according to your purpose, then it's divinity. It's divine.
Mhm.
So because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I put 10 minutes ago as the first film for me to go forth,
Yeah.
and that's it came from nowhere. So I
Yes.
want to shout out Kyrie Irving for giving me that divine number, for blessing my fundraising campaign for 10 minutes ago, and doing something that only people who are understanding of what divinity truly means, how he sold into my life. And
That's
I'm
beautiful.
forever grateful for Kyrie Irving.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful. Just a joy talking to you, just hearing your story. And you know what? I got a lot of stories. I actually wanted to be a filmmaker too. I still do.
You still
I didn't.
are.
I didn't realize it until 2018.
Mhm.
No, 2017 when I moved to North Carolina. That's when I realized that that's what I wanted to do
Mm.
because of the stories and the things I want to do and tell. And so I have a couple of things I want to share with you that you might be
Okay.
interested in. That
Okay.
we'll see how it goes.
Let's make it happen. Shout
Yeah.
out to my boy Nelson J. Davis. He's another person that I would say, since he's in North Carolina, but he's all over. He shoots all over. They call
Mhm.
him Mr. Tubi for a reason.
Okay.
And I could connect you with Nelson. Nelson, humble, blessed, amazing individual. He has about 85 movies and counting that's on Tubi and Amazon Prime. So we could connect, and I will give you his information. And he and myself can definitely try to, see what we could do to help you manifest your goals, dreams, aspirations. I'm
Wonderful.
open. I'm open for you.
Wonderful. And one of my followers, Yvette Cologne, she just posted that we
Okay.
can do that you can do her story.
Absolutely.
She has an amazing story, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it, just real quick.
Okay, I'm listening.
She found out that she has a birth certificate and a death certificate.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
According to the records, she died like a few hours. She was born and then she died like 12 hours later or something like that.
Wow.
And so it just turned her whole world upside down. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray.
Yeah,
I'm going to play her little clip. I have a clip of her
please.
story. I'm going to play that
Wow.
for you real quick. And then let's see, where is it? Here it goes. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Yvette Cologne, and I have a son that suffered from seizures. So I did a DNA test to see if me or his father's side, how he received his seizures. So upon me doing the ancestry DNA, I found out that it was a death index, meaning I had a death record and a birth certificate. I contacted Union Health Department and told them I need to know if this true. It was accurate. I do have a birth certificate that I was born September 5th, 1974, and died 10 hours later, which will be September 6th, 1974, in Union, New Jersey. Union Township is the county. The emotion was horrible. The first thing I thought was, oh my God, somebody actually stole me from a hospital. And this is so horrible. Like, who can do that to a child or to a mother? It's like, I need to know answers. I want to know answers. I know there's a lady out there who probably gave birth to me, thought I died, but I'm alive. I'm searching for her. So if you're out there, I am looking for you.
I'm floored by that, and the reason why I'm floored by it, three reasons. I lived in Union before we moved down here. That's one. Um, Two, I'm what we call a conspiracy theorist,
Hmm.
and I'm also born in 1972, January 8th, 1972.
Mhm.
Between 1970 and 1976, they were still in children heavily out
Wow.
of, and this is known. This is not just me saying what I'm saying, but this is a known fact. Out of New Jersey, out of Atlanta, Georgia, and a couple other cities and states where they
Wow.
were still in black babies. And three, the other reason why I'm floored because my passion is documentaries. I love,
Mhm.
I did a documentary that actually won um, best documentary in Canada,
Mhm.
and the documentary is about autism. I did it with a friend of mine, an incredible historian, incredible, Riza Islam. I got so much in like words to say about this young man. I mean, philanthropist, motivational speaker, author. Riza is an amazing human being,
Mhm.
spiritual being, and him and I won best documentary in Canada for our our documentary, uh, Unprescribed Truth, and I would love to do a documentary on her story because it's so important for us to really recognize what they were doing to us. Even the story of Henrietta Lacks, for example, a lot of people didn't even know about who Henrietta Lacks was. And now her family is finally getting, their just due after the atrocity that, the medical industry did to their mother, their sister, their cousin. And it's so many stories that as we as black people um go overshadowed. So
Yeah.
I would love to, please let Miss Colin get in contact with me. We could figure something. I know she's still in Jersey, but like I said, I told myself I would not go back to Jersey. I literally told myself that sometimes never, you can never say never.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
And that story is compelling enough for me to want to help in any way,
Wow.
shape, or form.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. You know how long she's been looking for and trying to find someone that is willing to help her with this story. So we really appreciate that. That's awesome.
I'm glad she's allowed to tell it though. That's
Yes.
just that's where the blessing is.
Yes.
The
Definitely for
blessing is
sure.
that she's still alive. Forget what
What
that
happened?
document says. Yes,
Right.
she's
Yes.
still allowed to tell her story. So I'm
For
thankful for
sure.
even hearing that story.
Yes. Well, thank you once again. This has been awesome. We'll have to do this again. I did mention I
Absolutely.
wanted to do another one with all the filmmakers that I know all on one platform. I think that would be an awesome, awesome interview. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. We are going to stay in contact with one another because I do want to share some of these ideas I have. And then I will send Miss Cologne your information and you guys can hook up and work things out and we'll go from there. This has
Okay.
been just a joy. Thank you so much.
Likewise, likewise is nothing but my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on your platform once again.
Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your evening and I will
You
talk
do
to you
so.
again soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Peace and
Thanks.
blessings.
Yes. All right, you guys, that has been a wonderful, wonderful interview. I really, really enjoyed this one. I really enjoy them all, but this one was really just absolutely great for me. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing your comments and just being here to support. I really appreciate you guys. Please share this with everyone that you know. Share the lives, share them, share them, share them. I'm trying to build this brand and build this platform and get this Conversations for Dummies out to everybody. There's so many conversations about so many things that we need to hear about, that we're ignorant and not knowledgeable about, that we want to know. I want to know, like, how rocks are made. I want to know how they break down all kinds of stuff. It's stuff to talk about, you guys. So you guys stay tuned for Conversations for Dummies. Every Thursday, we're going to have something good for everyone. Next Thursday, I have Miracle Thomas. She is a vocalist that I play her music on my platform, and she's going to come and share her story with us. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for Morning Motivation with Lady That Be Me, right here on Facebook Live. And I think I'm doing it on Instagram and YouTube tomorrow morning as well. So I'll see you guys then. All right, have a good night. God bless.